journey. So again, in terms of reporting, we emphasize on quantitative and qualitative. So we'll say you have met expectation, you have exceeded expectation in the various topics that the learner is engaged. So again here we give the learners their reports showing their performance per area, per running area, per subject, per strand. We are also going to give the school their report, and also we are going to compile a national report. We have asked ourselves one question. How will it look like if somebody is very good academically, they have crammed all the rules for athletics, and now they have written that, they have passed, do they qualify really to join the sports pathway? We don't want in any way to have people think that whoever child cannot make to join STEM, they have a dumping field called sports. We want sports to be accorded the respect that it deserves, and we want to get the best from sports. For those of us who did PE, when we went to those colleges and universities, people thought that we are joining PE because we cannot handle mathematics. I don't know whether the people here have a similar experience that you are looked down upon because simply you are doing PE. So, other than the academic performance that I have explained, we are going to include alternative assessment as a criteria, whereby we are going to administer a personality test. Does your personality allow you to join sports? We are also going to administer an interest test. Does that child have an interest in sports, or are we just praising them because they have passed in sports? Then we are also going to have teacher nomination, where we want a demonstration or evidence that this child whom we want to place to the sports pathway have ever participated in sports. Not just written test, but they have either represented the school in a zonal, sub-county, county, all those levels, even community sports. So we are asking teachers, we'll ask teachers to upload some portfolio to show the certificates, the accolades, the medals that this child acquired in their journey to sports. And these criteria will now supplement what we'll have in terms of academic performance, so that we ensure we are getting the best to pursue sports at the senior school. So just as a conclusion, then we are saying that assessment in sports in Kenya's basic education is practical, it is inclusive, and it is developmental, because we are building on the lower classes to build the higher classes. So it is developmental, and from early years to junior school, it involves in complexity, but retains a core goal, because each level has a goal, and the goal to assess not just physical skills, but also the values. We also want sportsmen and women who have values and who have the right attitude. We are looking at holistic development of competencies that are essential to personal growth and lifelong health. So thank you so much for listening. That is what we thought we could present for today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. George Gadungu. Hebu tumpigie makofi ya kilo tafadhali. Changamka kabisa. You know, there's nothing, it's so unfair that you get to sit and listen to serious topics after having your heavy lunch. Because from the look of things, ni kama kila mtu alikuwa anadoze, anashtuka akisikia grade 1, grade 2, because you parents, when you hear the word CBC, unashtuka sana. You fear CBC because you know your child is waiting for you at home with some assignments. Sindio? But I want to break something a little bit, and I'll point out to a few people. Tell me what is the name of the neighbor, your neighbor, someone seated next to you. Who is your neighbor? Have you interacted? Have you networked? Have you asked this person, where does this person work? What does he do or she? Is he a sports person? Ebu msimame. Nataka kuchagua wawili watatu waniambie. Umejua anafanya nini upande wa sports? What sport does this person engage in? Aya, from my right. Don't ask now. Why didn't you ask in the morning? Don't ask this person now. Ask this person the talent he has. Okay, that's just a challenge for you. Can you just stretch a bit? Punguza hiyo mafuta ya mchana ya saa 4 chai na mahamri. The nyama we ate during lunchtime. Say hi to your neighbor. Muuliza, are you bored? Have you learned something this afternoon? So what are you planning for your child? Is he or she our next Beatrice Chebet or Faith Kipyegon? Thank you so much. Now you are attentive. You can have your seat. Clap for yourselves. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Gadugu. And just to kickstart the question, this session will not have the plenary because of time, but I believe you've prepared your questions well and ready to ask. I told you earlier that this is a very important topic for you as a parent. It's youth development, talent growth. And Mr. Gadugu has really presented a comprehensive information here for us to grasp and challenge yourself. Have you identified the talent of your child wherever he or she is? So straight to the point, Mr. Gadugu. Mine is just to ask about, by the time this child gets into grade 10, you talked about grade 4, 5, 6, that's where you identified such talents. You already know and identified the potential of this child, either athletics, swimming, netball, handball. And also, let me not leave out motorsports. How do you make sure this talent does not fade? Because you start identifying these talents when they are in your institutions. By the time this kid reaches grade 10, how do you continue nurturing? How do you work with the institutions like Kenya Academy of Sports to make sure this talent does not fade? Because we normally say when you fail in school, you does not fail in life. Sindio? So parents, don't be harsh to your babies, to your children. When your child is not performing well in class, remember this child has a talent. Na Mungu hawezi kukupa moja akakunyima kingine, sivyo? Kwa hivyo, we want to promote these talents. As an institution, you've identified, you've seen the potential of this child. How do you pick it after grade 10 so that it doesn't fade, the talent does not go away? You work closely with the institutions to make sure we have the next Faith Kipyegons, because at some point we'll have Akina Faith coaching or resting somewhere, and we have your children who have come from your institutions. How do you nurture the talents after the school? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. You realize that the education system that we are implementing now is so systematic and collaborative. For some reason, a curriculum kind of gives a scope of what should be covered for every level. But the purpose of having assessment in sports at the various classes, even before we go to grade 10, and even after grade 10, is to ensure that we have identified the talent. And after talent identification, we don't want to limit it to academic. We don't want to assume that these people can only now pursue the academic line. And on the same hand, we are not assuming that this person can only pursue sports. We would really wish to have sports journalists who are maybe very good in communication, but they are reporting in the area of sports because we have built their communication skills in education, but we have handed them over to the next level for training for the appropriate skills and career. So once the talent is identified, it is not limited to the academic line. All those other institutions including coaches of different talents, can now access that data, can now come for this data, and they can be told, we have this number of learners based on these results, based on this evidence, who are good in this kind of sports. So it will be upon now us to work as stakeholders, to work together. The Ministry of Education and all the other stakeholders to ensure that we nurture these talents. Ours is to identify and to nurture maybe up to grade 12, and then from there, the other institutions will take over and nurture these talents. So we are working closely with the collaboratively, even with the KAS, that's why we are here, and other institutions, but would encourage even the Ministry of Sports. What we've seen in Talantahela, what we've seen in other sporting organizations, we'd like to see more of that. We'd like also counties to come in so that even the talents that are found within their levels, they can nurture them. Once they are nurtured and they are not hidden, then they can be seen and they can be nurtured or taken by the professional bodies. So I think that's what I would say, that we need to continue working collaboratively, but we can assure you that we'll have a lot of data that can assist institutions to identify those students or those learners with talents.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Yes, you've talked about Talantahela. That's a very good initiative. That was a government project that its work is to identify, nurture, develop, and monetize talents. And you've seen the way it's monetizing talents of Akina Faith, Kina Omanyala. So as parents here, identify the talent of your child, because at the end of it, it will monetize, and you'll be a proud parent. Thank you so much. Let's appreciate Mr. George Gadugu, but I want to open it up to the participants. 2 questions maximum because of time, so that we can allow our next presenter to come and talk about Special Olympics. Yes? Microphone, please. Let's stick to the theme and brief to the point so that Mr. Gadugu can be able to explain it to you well. And I believe you are going home with something. So tuharakisha microphone tafadhali, kipaza sauti. Okay. Ameamua kupelekea his fellow man. Sawa sawa, thank you.
I'm from Mombasa.
Asante, karibu.
001. All right, thank you so much. Mr. Kazu, mine is, how will you control the teachers? You see, like, we're having a challenge. When schools are closed, you still have tuitions. We have still, when time for the lessons are finished, we still have tuitions and kids need to go to the field. This is very, very hard for us to, as parents, as coaches. It's a big challenge as the ministry. Thank you.
We take another one. There's a lady up there, please. Let's give it to the lady next. And I think we'll only take, we have so many questions. Kindly let us limit because of time. You see, we started a little bit late, and maybe you could see Mr. Gadugu Kando to explain about it. Kindly.
My name is Marlene from KU. I am a teacher of physical education. And recently we saw the merge after the rationalization of the curriculum, we saw a merge of PE, music, and performing arts into one unit called Creative Arts and Sports. Now, I can count PE graduates here. We are more than 10. And initially, we were never allowed to combine PE with music or such. So most of us are either PE Kiswahili, PE History, PE CRE. So so definitely we cannot be employed to teach creative arts and sports because we do not have the skill and the knowledge for the same. So how confident is our system that the teachers out there are able to actually plan, instruct, and assess creative arts and sports in the right way while also spotting talents? And also, how confident are we that we will have adequate teachers to cater for the sports career pathway in senior school, since we all ran back to our favorite employers, the international curriculum? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gadugu. Kindly answer those two questions. Then we prepare for the next presentation by the CEO, Special Olympics.
Thank you so much for your questions. And I must confess here that maybe people confuse NEC and Ministry and TSC and KICD and their roles. Because when it comes to issues of policy implementation, like what my brother is asking about tuition, that is not a function of NEC. It is a function of the ministry, but since we belong to the same, there is a policy that bans tuition. I think sometimes back it was documented, but parents come together and agree that we want our children to go for tuition. So it becomes very difficult at our level unless it is raised to the ministry. Actually not to NEC. NEC has no role when it comes to that. Ours is just to administer assessment, score, and issue results, and then we give to the ministry to even place these learners. So when it comes to issues of tuition in schools, that could be better addressed by the Ministry of Issues. But as far as I know, tuition is banned, but if you ask, parents will put a lot of pressure and it will be agreed upon. Of course, there is a monetary side also of the tuition, which we pay for those tuition. Yeah, so I think schools also have time to earn something. Regarding the merging of creative arts and sports at the lower level, from my presentation, I hope you observed that the name of the subject is changing based on the levels. And when we go to senior school, and how I wish that this presentation was preceded by a presentation by KICD to show the organization of the subjects at the senior level. At the senior school, grade 10, 11, 12, PE, there will be physical education, which will be compulsory, and there will be sports science. So, but at junior school, we ask ourselves, what is the purpose of junior school? The purpose of junior school is to expose the learners so that they can explore all those sports, so that by the time they are getting, actually not just sports, all the subjects, so that by the time they are getting to senior school, which is a pre-career stage, they are already aware of what they want to pursue. They have tasted, they have experienced, and now they can make up their mind and say, I want to join sports because I've tried out. So at junior school, we should teach very many subjects with very shallow scope. Sababu ni kuojesha tunaojesha. The real study now will come when we come to grade 10, 11, and 12, because that's when they will specialize in these subjects. So regarding the teachers who are teaching, the wisdom of KICD, because that's now again Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, they decided that the creative arts, which comprises physical education or sports, music, performing arts, music and theater, and visual arts are taught as one running area. When it comes to assessment, we structure our paper in such a way that we give it sections. So we have a section for sports, we have a section for visual arts, we have a section for performance art. Because from our end as NEC, we also faced the same challenge of having the subject combined as one, creative arts. And in the whole world, because we tried to benchmark, in the entire world, there is nowhere else where music and art at that level is taught together. So we also face the same challenge, but for us, what we did, and even we are doing right now as we are seated here, is that when we are recruiting examiners, people to come and mark those papers, we specifically go for the 3 categories. We get equal proportions for art, people to come and mark art, and those who have done PE to come and mark PE. Otherwise, we will not allow people to come and mark PE if they have not pursued PE, if they have not studied PE up to diploma and university level. So the confidence that we are talking about then, we may face some challenges at the junior school level. But what I can assure you is that when we come to senior school, it will not be possible to teach, to have somebody who have not done PE to teach PE. Because it is very technical. You can imagine the sports science that we know. It will not be possible. So I think the government is addressing that. That's what I can say. But we, as an institution, we also face the same challenge of having the creative arts and sports merged together as one subject. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gadugu. Let us appreciate Mr. Gadugu. Thank you so much for that elaborative presentation and responses. As Mr. Gadugu leaves the stage, please note this is the last presentation for today, and this is a very, very special presentation. It's about Special Olympics. How many of you understand Special Olympics? So allow me to invite, thank you, Madam. Allow me to invite Mr. My dear William to come to the stage. I'll give a brief bio about Mr. William. He has 15 years experience in sports business development. As I call on Mr. William, please, our media, kindly prepare the presentation for him. This is our last presentation, so please sit, enjoy the presentation. It's very important. This is a Special Olympics, not the other one you always understand. Get to know this Special Olympics. What is it about? Why is it called special? So as I was introducing Mr. William, he has 15 years in sports business development, 10 years sports officer, and currently he is the CEO of Special Olympics Kenya. CEO. Na kama mtaka kumuona kando, you'll see him after the presentation. So sit, enjoy the presentation, then see him after this. Those who wanted to ask questions to Mr. George, kindly, we have our evening tea. Interact with him, get to understand more about what he was presenting, and also ask your questions, engage, interact, and also consult. Take home something. Let's appreciate Mr. William as he comes to the podium to give us a presentation about Special Olympics Kenya. Let's appreciate Mr. William, please. Thank you. Karibu sana. And the topic for today, I've just mentioned about Special Olympics. I think I got carried away because I love that Olympics, special, because I know ni watu wa kujituma. He's going to speak about harnessing opportunities to curate career pathways that accelerate policy and program development with a focus on inclusion. You all know it is very important in any discipline. It must have inclusivity. That is why even in motorsport, us as women, we are part of it. It is not a male-dominated field. So for this one, allow me to welcome our CEO to come and take us through the Special Olympics, and he's going to speak about that topic I've just mentioned. Take your notebooks, take your pen, prepare for questions. Thank you, karibu sana. Tumpige makofi tafadhali.
I promise I'm going to take less than 5 minutes of your time. I have a ball. I have a ball. Stand up. I have a ball. I have a ball. I put it on my head. I pepeta. I pepeta. I have a ball. Put it on my shoulder. I pepeta. I pepeta. I have a ball. I put it on my other shoulder. I pepeta. I pepeta. Okwemba. I have a ball. I put it on my waist. I pepeta. I pepeta. Thank you so much. So, first of all, I promise I'm going to take 5 minutes of your time. As we speak, there are those ones who are trying to convince their dates that they are coming. I am sure there are those ones who are supposed to pick groceries somewhere. I know there are those ones who've asked Washikiwe Laini Kencom. I know some of you are arguing with your drivers that you overspent time. So, policy and inclusion topics are normally very heavy, so I'm not going to delve in that. I just want to give a light and hope. One, I am a benefactor of sports science. That should come out clearly. I was in the second class in KU, and KU has gifted me 3 degrees, and I'm very happy about that. And let's clap for KU. I'm happy when I see Dr. Jane, I see Dr. Njenga, Professor Gitonga. I was here. I saw Buhala was somewhere to speak. I know last year we had Dr. Professor Moni Ekesa in a session. I'm very happy because I belong to that, and I'm very happy. I also want to say I'm a benefactor of sports, and sports has given me a scholarship outside. And I think I want to say thank you to that. And any way I can give back, I will always give back. I was hoping I would see some photos rolling. Please, if yes, just roll them. So, Special Olympics specifically works with athletes who have intellectual disability. How many of you know how to assess someone who has intellectual disability? Just one person. Yes, yes. You can shout. This is a theater. You can project. Stand up and project. Yes, yes. Yes. How do you assess? How do you assess that someone has intellectual disability? Okay, that is one. Any other person? Yes. Sorry? Gesture. Okay, so I want let me just erase those are biases. Yes, sir. Sorry? Their mood. Mood swing. Okay. Please do not confuse mental sickness with intellectual disability. Anybody who scores below 70 on an IQ test is intellectually disabled. Some of my patients are here. 100%, I can tell you that. So, persons with intellectual disability score from 70 coming to down. 70 to 50, partial intellectual disability. Okay? Dyslexia, learning problems, mild Down syndrome. 50 to 30, mid disability. You will see some form of also accelerated physical appearance. Yeah? Mild cerebral palsy. Those ones who have a missing X syndrome because a brother and a sister decided to sire a child. Okay? And then 30 and below, severe. Can't even walk, can't even move their limbs. Cerebral palsy. Okay? Are we now figuring it out? And there's a proper distinction between mental illness and intellectual disability. You can recover from mental illness. You can never recover from intellectual disability. That has to be noted. Okay? 2, drug abuse can lead to mental sickness. Okay? Intellectual disability is a chromosome and birth defect. Most of the time, actually, let me give you some very weird statistics. There's a hospital in this county that leads in perpetuating intellectual disability because of how they handle their deliveries. So you have a lot of maternal accidents. I will not say the name because I don't want to be sued, but you know it. It's a county council hospital. Okay? So if a mother is mishandled when giving child so that the child lacks oxygen, even for a minute during the process of birth, there's a part of the brain that dies, and that part will never be recovered, and they become our patient.
If you have a child who's less than 3 days dropped, are we speaking? Are we speaking? If you have a pregnant mother who uses drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, certain medication that is not properly prescribed, you actually bequeath your child an intellectual disability. Are we speaking? Yeah. So intellectual disability is not a form of a disease. Intellectual disability is a cognitive deficiency. We know what cognitive is, do we? Thank you. I have 2 minutes. In my 2 minutes, I want you to go home and ponder on these specific questions, which is my passion, and it's sports policy. Sports policy is my passion. Your counties, where you come from. Last year, for the last financial year, they accounted for 15.5 billion having been consumed on software programs in sports. Wangapi walikula 10,000 ya hiyo 15 billion? Inua mkono. 20. Oh, turudi chini. 500. Ask yourself, you're here as sports people and you've not benefited from the 15.5 billion expended by counties on software programs in sports. For the financial year 2024-2025, and you want to teach us about sports. Ask yourself this question. Sports Fund expended 3 billion on software programs. When I mean software programs, allowances, activities, si mijengo, sio? How many of you benefited? I know some benefited because I've been seeing a lot of Kenya jerseys, so it means people went out. How many benefited? Okay, so there's no athlete here who went outside the last financial year to represent Kenya and promoted and sponsored by Sports Fund? Okay. Ask yourself those questions. Sports Fund has set 16.7 billion, 2025-2026 on infrastructure development. How many of you are planning to benefit from that money? Put strategies to benefit from that money. They've also set 4.2 billion software programs. How many of you do have set strategies to benefit from that money? So my question is, and I want you to think about this, why do you want private sector money? Why? Why? If government has set aside 20 billion for you, why do you need to go to a bank? Yeah? Why are you complaining that there's no money? I heard during the day, I mean, when we started the discussions, we were all complaining there's no money. But yet, Sports Fund has 20 billion for you. Counties are running Governor's Cup. Governor's Cup consumed 2.7 billion for those ones who agreed to document how they expended that money. Governor's Cups. How many of you benefited from the Governor's Cups? Shame on you. I wish you a very good Wednesday. Thank you.
What? 5 minutes. And he has explained it. He has left everyone hanging. Ama ni mimi peke yangu. Hata mali amegusaguza mambo ya pesa amkuchangamka? Bwana CEO, that was the best presentation. Short, brief, and precise. Can we appreciate him? And he has explained, he has challenged you, he has asked you questions. I think this was the best one, si ndio? Ya mwisho ndio waga tamu, imewachangamsha kiasi. Now, I want to open the floor. But before I open the floor, Bwana CEO, you've asked us about these funds. And I think this is a big challenge to most of us, those who are aiming to become athletes, sportsmen and women. How do they get this support? As a CEO dealing with especially that special category of people, they face a lot of challenges. Can you just tell us the biggest challenge you face in your institution to making sure this special group of people do not feel like they are not part and parcel of the rest? It has been a challenge, I know. I don't want to talk about infrastructure, but the government has done, at least it has tried to take care of them. But as your institution, have you done at least 90% of taking care of this special group of people? Thank you. As he answers those questions, please let me see those who have questions to our CEO. Maybe mnaweza muitisha hizo pesa amezisema hapa, labda konazo kwa akaunti yake, si ndio? Those ones with questions, kindly, how many? The microphone, whoever is going round, please prepare. CEO, karibu sana. As you respond to my question, we prepare the participants also to ask a few questions, then we break for our evening tea, and also I hand it over to our MC of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rally Driver. The first would be graduates and students within sports science, physical education, leisure and recreation don't like volunteering. You have to start somewhere. We actually volunteered also. That's for that age group. For those who have some understanding of sports, worked in the field for a bit, are not bold enough to unseat the federation officials that you literally know are bloody useless. For staff who work for public service, either at county governments or national governments, you don't challenge your boss. You're used to routine. You present cooked up ChatGPT program proposals. You do not relate your programs to the grassroots where you come from. And you always think global when your solutions are local. You're thinking too much money, theoretical solutions, instead of thinking local solutions, practical expenditure, and very economical ways of doing it, which are very practical. You can customize, you can be creative. I think that is normally a very big challenge. I'm sorry to say, you go to most of the public service, and I've been a public service officer for 15 years. Usually it's normally the sports, social services who are always absent from work. That's a problem. I mean, we need to speak about it. You go to institutions of higher learning, the same faculties that teach the same. It's where students actually miss classes. So how do we expect that we are not taking serious our sector? And you expect to be someone in our sector. I'm not speaking about athletes. I'm speaking about sports managers, sports administrators, teachers of sports. You don't take serious your classes. You've been accorded work. You don't take serious your work. You want to repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. If you ask a very simple question, how many of you know the sport directors in the counties? Sports officers at the ministry? That's the challenge. So volunteerism also affects us as an organization because we depend a lot on volunteerism. We normally compensate, but we don't say, so they don't show up. But those who show up normally benefit, enough of them get employed. I think the other thing that we struggle with for us as an organization is that we associate intellectual disability with witchcraft. So even in this room, we have people who have relatives that hide their children. Some of them even chain their children at home. So we can legally access those, but those ones who are hidden away, we honestly can't. And for us, our service is to ensure that any child who's intellectually disabled can get our services. We have more than 1,000 trained special needs teachers in the area of sports, but they don't have anything to do now. We are working with refugees because we assume the 3%, which is 1.9 million Kenyans, who we expect to have ID, we've catered for. Because when we go for screenings, when we go for sport programming, we always tend to meet the same. We started a small program where we would use local administrative structures to access vulnerable households and see if we could get our clients, but it became very controversial. Of course, child protection and the rights of child and the rights of a family also interfered with that. But we do pray that we will break the chains of cultural and taboo in the area of intellectual disability to at least accord us the presence and the access to the persons with intellectual disability. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. William. Yeah, we have questions from the floor. But my appeal to parents here, maybe your neighbors, your relatives, they have special children. Please, amesema, they normally say that it's a witchcraft. But let's be our ambassadors. Go out there. If you see your neighbor with a child with a special need, tell that parent that child has a special talent. And that child, ndio millionaire kwa hiyo familia. So help us to help these special needs. And maybe if you want to reach out to the CEO after, during tea break, you can ask him where the offices are, and maybe you have identified that your neighbor has that special child. You can talk to the CEO and help. And maybe the kid is also talented in some way, in different sports like football, athletics. They are very, very smart, those children. Those people are very smart than even the normal ones. So let me open the floor. Anyone with a question?
Good evening.
Thank you.
My name is Diana Barasa, and I'm a student in Kenyatta University doing Bachelor of Special Needs Education. My question to you, the CEO of the Special Olympics Kenya, how do you think universities can do better to include or at least involve those student athletes with intellectual disabilities in our sports program? And you've also talked about volunteering, and me as a person who love volunteering, especially with people with special needs, how can I be helpful to your federation? Because I really would love to be part of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question? So that you can respond to the few questions. Msiogope kuuliza maswali. Sawa. Bwana CEO, you can respond to that.
Hi, my KU people. Do you know we have a club at KU? Special Olympics? Okay. Meets every Saturday in your gym, at the gym, and swimming pool. Oh, okay, you knew that today. So please, I hope I'll see you there on Saturday. It's one of our biggest club. It was started by Professor Buhala as a camp shriver. It's one of our biggest. One of our athletes from there actually owns 4 matatus because he went to Berlin and earned 2 million, and he has intellectual disability. Nganga. He's from Club KU. Yeah. So we have a Special Olympics club in KU that we 100% support. We even have family forums. We always beg Dr. Jen to ensure that all the relevant classes that are in the area of special needs sports science, the students are able to volunteer. And she normally, I can tell you, even Dr. Jenga, they spread the word. So we want you also to spread the word. Start from there, and I'm sure you'll find yourself at ACK Gardens where our offices are, next to Arthree House, 2nd floor, as an intern. Is that a good career pathway? Thank you. And by the time you volunteer, I promise you, by the time you volunteer to November, we would have given you a certificate And that certificate will allow you, even as a student, to get an internship position in a UN agency. Okay? So please, come to your gym in KU main campus or to the pool any Saturday and you will see our athletes. Eh? Okay. Our biggest aim at the moment is to ensure, we want to start grassroots. So we want to ensure at least 10 schools in every county, special needs schools, either exclusive or integrated. 10 teachers are trained in the area of sports promotion, those teachers who teach special needs. We want them to be skilled in the area of sports, managing young athletes who have special needs. And there's a new curriculum that we're introducing in Kenya. I'm a participant in developing that. Dr. Jen is a key person in developing that. It's called Motorsports Activation Programming. So what we do for this is we are using their motor activity for those who have severe and mild intellectual disabilities to allow them to make practical use of their limbs, okay, and improve their physical health. So that's a program also we'll be rolling out to our club at UN and our club at KU, okay. We are just finalizing on the curriculum in itself. The other proposal that we are trying to push, we have a very unique funding that allows us to go to vocational training centers in counties and start a capacity building program, trying to introduce just a certificate course in special needs, and with a focus specifically on inclusion for persons with disability. So we hope that that will actually have an uptake. We are trying a pilot with a couple of vocational training centers in 4 counties, and we want to see how that works out, and then we can roll it out. So that is also one of our strategies. When you have teachers at grassroots level, that is the best way to instill skills, because then those at grassroots level will be able to spur growth of that skill enhancement, and then we can actually see replication, a bottoms-up kind of an approach. Yeah? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wanasio. Let's appreciate Mr. William. Hiyo haijatosha ya kufunga siku. Tumpige makofi tena. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate yourselves. Thanks. We are right on time. As much as we started late, but we are right on time. Sindio, that is how we become disciplined and also attentive and appreciating everything that you are being told before you. Allow me to now welcome my co-presenter, Madam Shiko. I wish to thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening to me. I was your moderator for the second session. My name is Pauline Shegu once again. Until next time, God bless you and have a lovely evening. Asanteni.
All right, let us appreciate Pauline as well for the good work that she has done. Thank you very much, every person who has been part and parcel of today. I know it has been a hectic day. Tumena marathon, ndio? For the learning bit, a bit of technical hitch at some point, but we have been able to cover what we were supposed to do for today. So thank you very much. I've also noted ni kama tutakuwa na KU corner. At this rate, we have, ni kama tutakuwa na KU corner. Watu wa KU? Cheki. Ni kama we'll have a whole corner like this, yeah? Any other university around us? Yeah, I see Dr. Florence, Dr. Edan, your entire team, thank you very much. Every other person who has been present today, the speakers, we appreciate you. Even for every participant, thank you for being patient. I know today we have tested your patience, but thank you very much. Let us meet tomorrow at 8:30. Ndio tuanze vizuri, kesho tutakuwa na opening ceremony ingine. We will just do this thing. We will just continue learning. Without further ado, let us be upstanding, say the grace, and then we can break for tea, network, and go home. All right? Yes. Tusimame, let us say the grace. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ. with us now. Amen. Have a lovely evening. Be safe. Tupatane kesho asubuhi. We will be doing, first topic will be health and fitness, and also we'll do commercialization and media. See you tomorrow. God bless. Asanteni sana. Oh, kuna chai? Kuna chai? As you go outside, lead at work and take some tea.